On this episode, we share our experiences at NAB, pay homage to our fans, and show you behind the scenes. This is DVTV.
This episode is made possible in part by Dayflow Lighting Systems, the nation's best-selling lighting solutions for photo, video, and filmmakers. Manhattan LCD, the affordable solution for high-definition monitoring. CheesyCam.com, the latest gear reviews and DIY video and photo projects. Jag 35, affordable solutions for filmmakers.
Hi, and welcome to today's episode of DVTV. I'm Tony Reale, your host.
And I'm Sean Bowers, your co-host.
That's right. Hey, we're back from NAB and sporting some of the NAB swag.
Yeah, a little bit there.
35 and Defocus, ICANN. Just some of the guys that were nice enough to send us home with some of their shirts and gear and clothing. So that was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And we had a really great time just stopping off at the different booths and checking out all the new gear and new products out there. I mean, we shot 58 interviews.
Yeah, we did a little bit more than that, but the ones that are up on YouTube right now, we have 58.
Yeah, and there were a few that probably won't make it up that either there was an issue with or something like that. But we shot a ton.
Oh, yeah.
And that was a lot of work. But the thing is, we didn't even hit a fraction of a percent of the content there. I mean, there's so much.
Just a day and a half, we were in the central hall where you had all the gear, and after that day and a half, even after coming back from other halls, we'd see, we didn't see that before, just be hidden away in the corner.
Yeah, and then we were like, okay, we need to make it out of this central hall and make it over to post production and start hitting that.
Yeah,
and we got there, and then we started, and then obviously there's this giant new room. And then we were going through there, and people were like, "Okay, well, you need to check out one of the booths upstairs." We're like, "Upstairs?" I'm like,
yeah, it's.
And so sure enough, we went upstairs, and there was a floor on top of this floor with just as big, and I'm like, "Oh my gosh!" And there was an entire hall that we didn't even hit.
Yeah, that was more like for broadcast, huge like storage and all that kind of
stuff. So there's probably something cool, bunch of cool stuff So we tried to hit as much as we could. We tried to hit the relevant stuff, also the big stories. It was interesting. Like, we ended up, most of my time was spent going up to the PR booth and asking, hey, this is Tony from Next Wave DV. We run a site that does news and training for digital video makers.
Yeah.
Do you have any new products you'd like us to demonstrate or talk about? And, I got good at saying that line really well.
Right. At first, when we first got there, we were total noobs when we got there. It's our first time.
Yep.
We didn't really do any research into kind of what we should do. We just kind of flying by the seat of our pants. Yep. And it was a cool experience. First day was slow going. Luckily, later on that day, we started getting a rhythm, and we figured out, hey, we need to go to the PR booth and talk to those people for them to get someone to talk to us instead of trying to figure it out ourselves, because then they're just like, oh, you're press? Oh, let me go get somebody.
Yeah.
And they just run off and grab someone, like, woohoo!
It's kind of nice. The other cool thing, too, is, like, we managed to hit, like, we probably hit more booths than most people would at NAB just going personally. And mainly because, like, once we finally got that PR person, we had to tell them to condense their content down.
They're like, so how long do you want me to talk for? And we're like, we try to keep it under 5 minutes.
Right.
So,
and some of them went longer, but for the most part, we try to keep them under 5 minutes. And so they're forced to tell me all about their product, or tell us all about their product, in less than 5 minutes. So that was kind of nice. They got the full summary.
You don't have to listen to the sales pitch and all this.
Or have to, talk about, this is what I do.
Forget about all the social pleasantries.
Yeah,
we just get down and dirty right away.
Exactly. We didn't talk to anybody. Now, that said, there's one thing that would have been nice if we were able to do more, which is interact with a lot of the people at NAB. There was several events that we weren't able to make it to.
All because of you guys.
All because of you guys.
Yeah, we wanted to bring you some content,
right,
at least something.
Yeah, and our goal was to try and get content up during the week, which was really difficult, especially for the amount of videos that we were shooting. And then we were running into issues with internet connections.
First time we were doing it, we were tethering our phones with 4G with Sprint, and
it worked well, but for some reason the uploading wasn't working correctly. So then we had to go on the hotel's Wi-Fi, which is always not the easiest process in the world.
So just technical issues galore, pretty much.
And even editing, like the first night we got done shooting, got back to the hotel room, we're like, let's start editing. And we're like, let's get a few things edited and then rendered. And then we'll go eat. There was an all-in poker tournament where a lot of people are going to be at. We were hoping to check that out. We started editing, and one thing didn't work, and then another thing didn't work, and then another thing didn't work, and it got around.
Time just kept going.
Yeah, and we're like, you know what? Maybe we should just like order in some food, and you're talking about it, yeah.
As soon as he said, let's order in some food or something, just lo and behold, all of a sudden this piece of paper slips under our door. Like someone was listening to our conversation, and it's an advertisement for a local pizza place. And we should have just taken that as the sign in the first place and just ordered, but we did. And I was like, I kind of want Pizza Hut, so I was trying to found a Pizza Hut, called, and at 11:01 I called and to order, and they're like, oh, we're closed. We close at 11. I was like, all of them closed at 11 around there. I was like, well, what the heck? So I ended up ordering from them, and then they were 2 hours late. I don't know.
I fell asleep, and then you woke me up when the pizza was finally there.
Yeah, like 1 o'clock or something.
Like lukewarm and.
Yeah. At least it was good, but
it was decent. Yeah.
So. It was just we learned that lesson, and
so we didn't make it out that night. So we edited, we uploaded. Tuesday we edited, uploaded. Wednesday we finally got a chance to socialize with some people.
Yeah.
And so that was really cool. Probably one of my favorite things about NAB though was getting a chance to meet people, even though we didn't get out as much as we could have.
I was surprised at how many people recognized you.
Yeah. That threw me off though when we had the first fan that came up and bumped into me. It's like, hey, you're from Next Wave DV. I watch you on YouTube. I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
I honestly thought that a big chunk of our audience were kind of like people that wouldn't actually make it out to NAB, that would just be watching from home and didn't have the budget or whatever. So it's cool to see that we actually do spread and reach out to the more professionals that. So we thank you for watching.
Yes.
And but of course, let's go ahead and check out a few of those interviews when we get back from our commercial break.
Exactly.
When we return, you'll hear from a few of the fans we bumped into at NAB and a behind-the-scenes look at our operations.
Welcome to Film Terms with Josh. Today's word is camera operator.
Is everything rolling over there? Is it working? A camera op takes direction from a cinematographer to determine the move that he'll make, whether it be a pan or a tilt or a Dutch, whatever the term blah 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 is. See, I told you I need to be a little drunk for this one. He listens to the cinematographer to determine the moves that he wants to make, whether it be a pan or a tilt or any other thing like that. And that's pretty much all a camera operator does. So that's the role of a camera op.
This episode is made possible in part by CPM Film Tools, your lightweight solution for caging the beast. ICANN, features you need, prices you want. LCD Viewfinder, the essential accessory for DSLR video. Lightcraft Workshop, the perfect tools to create the perfect image. Linco Lighting, professional lighting for photo and video.
Hey, it's the end of Tuesday night. We just finished up our day of editing. Problem with thinking on camera is that when you don't think, there's just blank space. You know what I mean? Anyways, so finishing things up here.
Yeah, we've been editing for a long time.
Yeah, we go on the floor and shoot for about 8+ hours, and then come back and edit our arses off.
Yeah, what we've discovered is it takes on average maybe 20 to 30 minutes to edit the average video that we've shot. Well, each day we've shot like 20, so we don't have an extra 10 hours to shoot, and that doesn't account for other variables. So chances are great we're going to be editing into the week, next week, and probably after that. But we're wanting to get the most important content up, the big stuff, the stuff that you guys are excited about, and and maybe some of the little fries will kind of piddle over until the following days. But yeah, we've experienced some difficulties, I guess. Internet was a problem, computers rendering was a problem, footage was a problem. So kind of all the things that you really need to work well have been problems. But
yeah, part of the problem was when we got here, I didn't do any of the well, we got some B-roll footage for the intro, and so we had to create the intro when we got here, so that took up some time. I wasn't able to help Tony render in the beginning. Also, I didn't do any of the others like sponsor animations or end stinger at all until like we're waiting to get on the plane and our layoff, so had to finish all that up the first night. But we were able to crank out about 6 videos, and we were able to upload those in the morning. We got past all our issues. I mean, we only got a 2-man crew here, so but otherwise it's going good. We got 2 laptops running. You can see Tony's on his i7 Monster,
yeah,
which we're having a few issues with, but we'll get past it. Yeah. And I'm on the other one over here. This thing is doing a right job. We got our 1.5 terabyte hard drive on the side here for archiving everything and sharing. We're not really connected. We're just using we got one laptop here. Tony's designated for uploading. Yep. We had to buy the internet service here at the hotel. We were tethering with our phones, but
didn't work as well.
Wasn't very reliable.
Yeah. Even
with 4G. So.
Yeah, we're just hoping everybody goes to bed now so that we can keep uploading.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, we'll probably be able to get them up in the morning when there's barely any traffic. Here's the pizza that we ordered and got 2 hours late. We ordered it like at 11 o'clock at night, didn't get here till 1. So I had to wake Tony up to eat some, but yeah, we still got a piece left there.
So how are you enjoying the Riviera shot?
Oh, dude, hey, check out the feathered steak. Yeah, we're in one.
Yeah, I love this. Check this out. Feathered edges on there. That's quality.
Yeah,
you know it's real when there's feathered edges on it.
Yeah, those feathered edges taste great.
Well, we're back, and better than ever.
Kinda.
Well, I want to talk about sponsors real quick, because some people get a little annoyed by the ads that show out there. It's really important to remember that the reason that we were able to go to NAB was because of our sponsors.
Yeah.
The reason that we're able to bring you this show each week is because of our sponsors.
Because we're broke.
We are broke.
Well, I mean, we're not broke, but I mean,
it's pretty close.
We both work full-time jobs.
Yeah.
And
well, the thing is, we could either do this as a hobby and just put out crappy videos and put out crappy content every once in a while and blog every once in a while. Or, I mean, I literally put in 40-plus hours a week.
That's just basically you and me doing the show.
Right. And
this thing.
I put in a ton of work, getting the site going, getting out regular content, stuff like that.
Yep.
And so we drive traffic to it. The sponsors help not only for me to justify that amount of time, but also fund it so that I can eventually, hopefully, do this more full-time.
Yeah, we'd like to do it full-time.
Yeah, and even
it's the goal.
Put more content out there. So, again, so you guys know, every time you watch
go buy
sponsor,
stuff from them so that we get more sponsors and we can do it full-time.
But the key thing is, though, every time you see a sponsor, you should think of it as, this is bringing you free quality content. And we promise to keep upping the quality of our content. I hope that you guys feel that every time that we do a video that it looks better and you can see that quality increasing. So
yeah,
there's just a little bit about that. Now, one of my favorite things about NAB was bumping into people, and again, like I said before, it kind of threw me off the first couple of fans that bumped into us. We didn't get a chance to do it everyone because we wouldn't have had the time, but we did have the chance to talk to a few of our fans of the show, and got a couple interviews, so let's check out a couple of those.
We bumped into a couple fans of the show. This is Jacob Johnson. And Jacob, you're here at NAB. You having fun so far?
Yeah, I love it. It's a lot to see. It's really overwhelming. I wish I could see everything and touch everything, but, I don't know if they really appreciate that, the equipment and stuff. But it's great bumping into people I see online. It's actually interesting, They look a little different in person, Your ears are kind of big.
Yeah.
He's great, It's a lot to see, and keep up because he's putting a lot of great stuff on YouTube. And
I'm here with Jacob Landis-Eggsy, and Jacob, you've been here at NAB. What are you thinking so far? What's impressed you?
It's just huge. It's been really fun because I've been kind of reading a lot about the different things, but it's really nice to get a hold of them in your hand and try out different tripod heads and steady cams and cranes.
Any gear stood out to you so far?
I think I might get the Blackbird Steadicam. I tried that out and really liked it. Upgrading from my Glide Cam.
Yeah, we were checking that earlier. The price point seems pretty good on that too.
Yeah, I was very impressed with that.
So that was cool to just bump into them and kind of see life from their perspective and stuff like that.
Yeah, it was great to see the faces behind the views.
Yeah.
I guess.
So now we've been talking kind of as as press how NAB was for us. Now I want to talk a little bit about as just another fan, another consumer of that media content. What it was like. Oddly enough, we were joking about like I was literally I'm holding an FS100 and I'm playing with the AF100 a little bit. I realized I really didn't go through these cameras as a normal. A lot of people go to NAB so that they can test everything out and decide what they want to buy. It's kind of like a big giant shopping spree where you get to handle everything. We were so busy trying to cover everything that we didn't really get a chance to play with stuff much.
They'd give us their 5 minutes and we'd be on to the next booth, It'd just be bing, bang, boom,
Not even realizing that we could actually test out the product ourselves.
There's FS100s everywhere showcasing all of their gear and everything. So.
Yeah, I didn't really, I would have loved to play around with the FS100 a little bit more, get more familiar. Now, I mean, the situations that they're set up for isn't really ideal. Those aren't scenarios that I would probably be actually shooting in, so...
they had the booths. They had like elaborate scenes set up and everything for testing. Tons of colors, tons of texture.
They're nice, but that's probably not how I would light a scene personally.
Right.
So.
It's just more for like...
It is for demo and test.
Yeah, it's demo.
So, and they're, of course, they're not like, they're using their, on the FS100, Sony was using their, I think it was their 5.6 to 6, whatever, zoom lens. I mean, I would be probably using a Zeiss, at f2 or f2.8 or something like that. To shoot at, I wouldn't be shooting with that lens, so again, you're not going to get the same feel. So, anyways, that's just one thing that I kind of realized I didn't do, but it was cool to see. Like, we didn't necessarily report on this, but the big things that were everywhere, I felt was LED and 3D. Those are the two things that, large sensor cameras. There wasn't necessarily a lot of new information. FS100. Not that it wasn't old,
it wasn't like any huge announcements. I thought.
Yeah, the Sony 4K. I should say 4K was also big too.
Yeah.
Because I think the Alexa Studio was announced at a 3.5K or 4K or somewhere in there. So a lot of companies are coming out with higher level cameras. So that's kind of cool. Obviously, the F65, the Sony 4K is not anywhere even close to something that we would touch. But other than that, like you said, the large sensor cameras, what was nice is that a lot of people are optimizing things towards the large sensor cameras. Last year, it was I call it the year of HDSLRs at NAB. There was a ton of gear for HDSLRs. And this year was no exception. There was a ton of gear for HDSLRs as well. I think it was a lot more refined this year. Last year it was like everybody was throwing their hat into the bin and just saying, okay, we can make something too. And this year it was like, well, if you didn't have something original, your name kind of fell off the face of the planet. Or that product line fell off the face of the planet because there was somebody else with something original too. So there was I thought there was a lot of originality at NAB.
The Edelkrone double shoulder rig really stood out.
And each company kind of shined in their own respect.
Yeah.
So that was cool. So obviously 58 videos in just a short period of time is a lot to digest.
2 guys. Yeah.
So
we didn't get as worn out as we thought we would.
No.
I mean, we had some training like 2 weeks before when you came to Vegas with me. We walked everywhere, so got some good training.
It was pretty good. I felt that we were able to accomplish quite a bit and do it in a short period of time.
We worked our butts off, but
all for you guys.
Yeah. So
hopefully, if you aren't a fan of the NAB coverage, you stuck around through it. I know that there were some people that were complaining. They're like, it feels like spam or whatever like that. Honestly, it's the news and we got to cover it. So that's one of the reasons that we exist. And so I hope that you enjoyed that for what it was. We're back to our regularly scheduled programming, as it were. We've got one episode of HDSLR 101 left, but but we've
It's a
decided
big but.
to extend the series, actually. Just a little sneak peek of the future. DVTV is, again, our rounded up series about all things digital video. But HDSLRs are very popular right now. And we want to continue covering that. There's things constantly changing with them. Stuff that we talked about 6 months ago is still definitely relevant and still stuff that you should study. But there's things changing, like the new picture styles from Technicolor.
Yeah.
And so those things that we want to cover. There's
Even
also
with
a lot of techniques that we want to just go over and refine.
And in post. Like with 5.5 coming out, the warp stabilizer and possibly some audio stuff.
And one of the big things too is HDSLR 101 was the way that we shot it originally was it was kind of like a lecture room where I kind of just talked about it and we showed you a little bit. What we'd like to do further, and I know that you guys have been asking for, is more in-depth stuff. So more close-ups of the camera, explaining things out. I'm just taking one concept instead of covering a lot in one episode, taking one concept and expanding that out and going over in detail a lot more in one episode.
Yeah, we're going to try to keep all the humor out of it too so that we can concentrate on the
nothing
facts.
Funny.
Nothing funny, so nothing.
We're not film right. No. No, we love those guys. Those guys are awesome. So anyways, that's that. DVTV will keep going. That'll be a lot about gear, a lot about training, all-purpose training on there too. So thanks for watching, guys. We really appreciate it. Just Next Wave DV has grown considerably over the past year.
Yeah.
And
a lot.
It's awesome.
Surprised me. Yeah. So thank you.
Stay tuned for more awesome stuff, and we just appreciate your viewership.
Good night.
And God bless.
Want more Next Wave DV in your life? Make sure you subscribe to us on YouTube to be notified when the next episode airs. Visit our website for daily posts on the latest digital video news. Like us on Facebook to join the Next Wave DV community. And follow us on Twitter for behind-the-scenes news and pictures.